TV Reviews, your girl
and your boy Stanley.
We back. Power is back. It seems like it's been forever and a day.
Yeah.
But yeah.
We back.
So if you're new to the channel, welcome.
Yes, indeed.
If you're an old family member, then welcome back. Y'all know how this goes. House rules is we can agree to disagree in the comment section, but we will be respectful. If you can't be respectful, you'll be blocked. I mean, that's simple as that. Because at the end of the day, I get up and I go to corporate America. This is spending change for me, so I don't take it that seriously.
Hey.
And we're just here to have a little bit of fun. But if y'all watched us on Queen Sugar, y'all saw that I told my husband, look, you ain't gonna sit here and make me do every freaking review and lead every review. So he gonna lead this one.
I got you. But before we get started, we want to tell them about the No Bullshit shirts again.
Oh, yeah.
You know, we haven't advertised them in a while, but of course, if you still interested, you want one, we still have a few of them available in stock. So you can buy them up until they're gone. Yeah. And then if we get another demand, we'll go ahead and re-up on them then. Yeah,
and they ship almost immediately because what you see on the site is what we have in inventory.
Yeah, so if you click on it and say not available, that means it's gone.
So we look forward to seeing your orders, and we would love to see your pictures on Instant, Snapchat, IG, all that.
Yeah, all that.
But
power when I get out. So pretty much this season we picked back up where we left that on last season, where Ghost is getting locked up because your girl Angela Valdez told the feds that he killed Agent Greg Knox. First of all, we know that ain't the truth. That ain't even Ghost's MO.
But I knew that Ghost messed up when he put his hand on that daggone window.
Yeah. When he put his hand on that window, he slipped up. I don't know if he had been smoking a little weed that night, had a couple of beers, a shot of whiskey or Hennessy, but he freaking messed that up. And I was like, when he did it, we was like, oh no, Ghost. You messed up. You put the gloves on when you got in the house. You should have had the gloves on before you climbed up the building like a monkey.
Yeah, so then I was like, wipe it. Do something.
Yeah.
Smear it up.
So I say this time, Angela Valdez has taken this thing too far. I know she hurt. I know he dumped her. She pissed off. She hot. And one thing, when you piss a woman off, you never know what the revenge is going to be. I had no idea that she was going to call the feds in to get him put in prison. Usually girls will come and they'll slash your tires, or they take a key and key your freaking car, or maybe even bust your window out, but get you put in prison? That's too goddamn far.
Well,
so I have to do something to you. I ain't planning on it. Don't get the feds to come lock me up.
Nah, I'm black. I'm not calling the feds for nothing, because they'll turn that bullshit around on me.
Get you locked up too. So then we see a scene that Tommy was going to this strange dark place with a cage, it was like a freaking dog cage. It was like, what the hell is he going? Then he get down and this woman come in the shadows. Like, who is that? It's like Tommy messing with somebody on the side, and the goddamn Keisha.
And I told you
behind the curtain.
Didn't I tell y'all last season that I know that Tommy wouldn't have killed Keisha? Because for one, he give rat's about Keisha, but he cares about his relationship with Tasha. Yeah. Tasha's like his sister. He would never kill his sister's best friend. Yeah. I was like, he did something to send her away, and that's exactly what he did. I said, you know what? And so yeah, he told us that, look,
I got you. I'll protect you.
Yeah, so everything's cool. Milan is dead. You can go on back to your shop and do whatever. She said, oh, so now that Milan's dead, you think I just need to go back to my life as normal? Yeah. And y'all pushing weight through my shop? Yeah. I mean, how you think this worked?
But at the end of the day, she had to go back, because if something went down, she'd make herself look guilty, like she was a part of pushing the weight. So, you know, she needed, like Tommy told her, you need to go back. You didn't do anything. You ain't guilty. So go on back out there and life as usual and go and push that half.
Hello, bundles on bundles on bundles.
So we see old Ghost checking into jail, how they make you dump everything in that little bin. He dumping his wallet, his watches, his rings, his wallet, and he put his phone in there. And I said, you know what, somebody about ready to call that phone. And it was Tasha. And he was contemplating, he was like, he went to look like, no, you get your one call.
No, because what he should have did, I don't give a rat's about nothing. After I pushed that button,
Yeah, you can't do nothing there.
What you gonna do but hang it up? I was gonna push that button.
That green button.
And push that speaker. Tasha, babe, I'm in jail.
They locked me up. They got me. They got me.
But at least then she knew.
Yeah.
Look, all she had to do was put the track on it.
Yeah.
That was an iPhone on it.
No, I think that was Samsung.
Well, that's even better. Because Samsung got a better tracking than iPhone.
Yup.
And that's not up for debate.
Yup. So, yeah, they wouldn't let him get his freaking one call. They got him all booked in. They're norm. And then we see Angela come home and pour herself a big old glass of wine.
Did she have a teleport?
Nah, she had no teleport. She had that other cheap biscuit. But she laid there shaking. Know that she messed up. Know she ended up dropping that goddamn wine in the floor.
Can't get it together.
I'm like, too late now. You done it.
What's the movie? In Too Deep?
Yeah, In Too Deep. Yeah.
I mean, you gotta go for it now.
Yep.
It is what it is.
So you done pushed it too far. So Ghost finally got his one telephone call, and of course, he called Mr. Proctor.
Who else?
His freaking shady lawyer, and was like, they got me. Angela set me up. Now I'm up in freaking prison. I'm locked up. He was like, what? And he was like, well, you need to tell Tasha. You need to tell the kids. And he was like, no, we can't tell the kids because the kids can't know that you put them us locked up.
Yeah, they said don't tell him because it was like, Proctor was like, first his woman gets him locked up. He's not going to be able, no, it was don't tell Ghost about the kids and all that good stuff that Tariq was missing. And like, no, you can't tell him that his girl got him locked up and that his boy is out here missing in these streets. That's too much for him to handle. Yeah. Now, I disagree with it because I'm one of those people that if you do something, whatever the repercussions are, they are.
Yeah.
What I'm protecting you for when you did all this?
Exactly.
You did all of this.
Yeah,
you ain't guilty, but you put this ball in motion.
Exactly.
So now that, hey, I ain't protecting your feelings.
Exactly.
You better sit there.
Yeah. So then Proctor called Tasha, and this when she had told Tasha, don't tell Ghost.
Right.
Yeah, because you can't tell Ghost that Tariq is missing. But this time, Tariq is still over at Jukebox them house. But yeah, Ghost.
That is so funny to me. Because she still is princess to me.
Yeah, that's a Disney princess. So she was like, you can't tell Ghost. That's gonna be the worst thing can be for him to find out that Tariq is missing. He locked up. It ain't gonna go well. Yeah, it ain't gonna go well. So now we see freaking Andre come over.
Oh, you say it right.
Huh? Oh,
Andre the dinosaur.
Yeah, that's right. We see Andre the dinosaur come over Jukebox them house because by this time he trying to get Tariq back to the house because all this bullshit going down. We need to get Tariq home because if not, all this stuff gonna trace back to us. Because Ghost them is big time, so they gonna find him, and all this gonna just blow up in our face. So, and they was like, well, we ain't gonna give him up, cause when Bangkok got him, they ain't gonna let him go. So they weren't about to let him go, and he was like, well, if it's money that you need, I can get you 10 G's a week.
It was like,
and they was like, huh?
15 a week.
And yeah, Jukebox was like, nah,
piece.
15. He was like, Dre was like, that's 50 G's a week. How am I gonna pull that out of there and they not figure it out? I mean, it ain't like $50. We talking about 50,000.
They was like, well, make it happen.
Make it happen.
Now, this is where I didn't understand because I said, Dre, I know you playing on both sides of the fence, but you basically had the upper hand on them because he basically let them know, said, hey, y'all two are cops. Yeah. Y'all got everything to lose. Yep. First of all, you ain't gonna hustle me out of all of this money when I got all the proof. The kid is here.
Yep.
So I was like, Dre, but Dre getting on my nerves.
Yeah.
But I like Dre though.
He playing both sides. He doing a good job of playing both sides though.
He think he is.
I mean, so far until he get caught. But I believe he gonna get caught.
Cause that Tommy don't believe him.
Nope. Tommy definitely don't believe him. So yeah, so then we see Tasha and Tommy talking about Tariq. They trying to figure out where Tariq at. He's missing because of the picture that they sent of him with this man around, which we know is Kanan. So they trying to plot on how in the world we gonna get Tariq back. So by this time, Tommy had went and rolled up on Andre the Giant. I said the Giant. Andre the dinosaur, not the wrestler. Was like, hey, I know you know what Tariq at because you know the boys and stuff that he been hanging around. Who is Slim? I don't know who Slim is.
Ain't nobody.
But he looked guilty for a second. And Tommy is real good at picking up on bullshit.
Tommy said.
When he give you that look, when his soul disappears and he give you that look.
And he turn around.
Yeah.
I'm like, he got you.
So Dre was like, I got you. I'm gonna look into it. I'm gonna find him. So I don't know if it was 24 hours later or 2 hours later.
It seemed like 2 hours later.
He went back over there, got freaking Tariq, and brought him back over to Tasha's house. But by this time,
bullshit story.
With a bullshit story, because you remember, freaking Kanan told him, said, when they finally woke him up off the lean, told him, said, you get ready to go home, but you can't tell your mom and them what happened because your daddy is locked up. So you got to go back home, act like you don't know what happened. Tell them that you was out with your friends, y'all were drinking, and crazy stuff happened, but don't let them know nothing about
the picture was a joke.
And the picture was a joke. So Tariq went home with that bullshit story, but
she bought it.
She bought it, but Tommy was like, that don't sound right.
And he looked at Dre and he said,
what really happened?
And how you know where to go find him at?
Yeah, so fast. I was like, I would have waited at least 24 to 48 hours before I bought him back. Make it appear
like I had to
like
really
I had to look for him. See, I learned that from customer service. See, if you work in customer service, you ever answer the phone and you got a customer and they keep on getting on your nerves and you're supposed to be, you know the answer, and you give them the answer and they don't take the answer you get, say, okay, I'll put that on hold, put you on hold real quick and go find out for you. So you just put them on hold for about 5 minutes and you just sit there, la 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 la
build the
intensity, la la la, and come back. Yeah, my manager said, yeah, say the same thing, and they'll take your answer because they felt like you put in some work. So that's all he had to do. But he come back 2 hours later, like all of a sudden, you know, you went to the corner and picked him up and brought him back home.
I'm talking about something when he answered my phone calls. And basically,
he trusts me.
And basically tried to skid on Tommy talking about something. Well, did he answer your phone calls when you called him? And Tommy was looking at him like, I've been in this boy's life all his life.
So he would have answered my text if he could.
So what makes you so important? That Tommy looked at him, and when he got in that elevator to leave, and Tommy just stood there and looked at him like, go into sunken place?
Yeah.
I said, go ahead. Andre got in that elevator. When that door shut, he said, oh, Lord have. He was like,
he got away, but he didn't get away. Because Tommy still got his radar set on that joker. So it's gonna pretty much be all gonna come out.
But I like what happened when Tommy found out that Ghost had got locked up. He said, what the fuck is going on around here? Tommy was like, it reminded me of when Tommy when he had to deal with Lobos and he had to deal with Milan.
Yeah.
He said, I'm not mentally prepared
to deal with two psychopaths. It's actually three because you got to deal with yourself too, player.
I said, the biggest sociopath of them all.
Exactly. So Proctor comes to see Tasha to give her a plan on how they're going to get Ghost out of jail. He said, we're going to need some bail money. But we just can't get any money. We need some clean money because the feds is going to trace back the dirty money and we all going to be locked up. So he's like, you got to find some clean money, get it from a business, wherever you can get it from, as long as it ain't dirty. So Tasha goes on the spree. She goes, I'm going to go ahead and liquidate these stocks that we got. You know, me and Ghost bought these. We bought 500,000 shares of Google. So I'm going to go ahead and liquidate these and get this $2 million.
And the Snapchat ones.
Yeah, to get him out. And she went in there, pulled in the lock. No, first she talked to the dude. And he was like, well.
He wasn't supposed to tell that.
Yeah, he was like, James St. Patrick came in and he liquidated all that. And Tasha was like, huh? What? So she went and put a little code in. Beep, 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 beep. Went in there and looked. And it's a goddamn note in the freaking security box.
Come on, some Tasha, I'm sorry.
I'm going to put it back.
I'm going to put it back.
That's some black stuff for your tail right there.
What'd you say? Like I took $10 off the dress, so I'm gonna put it back?
That's like I had $100 in my wallet, and you come and take my $100 in my wallet, and leave me a note and say, Stanley, I'm gonna put it back later.
Say too late now. I'm in the grocery line.
I'm in the grocery line. I see I ain't got the $100 no more.
Say, can I get this note to the cashier and tell her I'll be back later when my wife give me my money back?
So she proceeds, skip a little ahead, she proceeds to call to try to get money from the trust fund, but of course...
That penalty, buddy. If y'all know anything about stocks and
crazy
investments,
because I think it's 10%
on the front.
On the front, plus you got to pay regular tax rate on it, plus additional 30 or 40%. So pretty much it's almost half. So you're looking at, she probably would have paid about anywhere from $500,000 to $1 million in penalties and interest and taxes. So that's why she was told about that. So she was like, you know, I'm pretty much gonna be losing more than what I'm pretty much putting out for Ghost. So we're gonna lose all that money, and the IRS gonna take the rest.
Hello. So then I like when she went up into the bag, right? She go in the bag. He had a little wad of money. She was like, she ain't even counted. She put it to the side. That ain't $2 million.
Yeah.
Then she goes in and she finds this diamond necklace, and I said
ain't worth no $2 million.
I know this wench. He ain't buy this goddamn necklace for this wench. I know he didn't.
Huh.
Well, later on we did find out that that's what it was. So, around about that time, that's when she had ended up going to see Ghost.
Yeah.
And let him know. Look, player.
You took the money. Yeah, you took the money.
He's like, Tasha, I'm sorry.
If it wasn't for this, I would put it back. Whatever. Every time you see somebody that owe you some money, I was about to give you the money back.
But my time blew out.
Yeah, always an excuse.
My lights get ready to get cut off. Would you rather for my lights get cut off or pay you my money back?
Or it didn't get to the point where they act like they don't see you. That's the part that piss you off. You see them at the grocery store and you be like, and they be like,
tying their shoe. Oh, and the 4th of July cookouts coming now. They gonna try to time you.
Yeah.
They gonna be like, what time Stanley gonna be there? I'll be there around about 6. They should be gone by then.
Yeah, I gotta go home. I gotta go pick up my grandma.
Cause I know he gotta work the next morning. That's what they do.
So now we see Ghost, settling into prison for his day. He's still on day 1, trying to get him some grub. Here comes Charlie Murphy. Yeah, we forgot to say Charlie Murphy.
That thing tore me up.
It was so, and you can tell he was sick. I mean, you can see
That's what I didn't understand, because the cast was like, they didn't know he was as sick as he was, and I'm like,
I mean, I could see it.
How, Sway?
Yeah, I could see it, because he looked nowhere near the way he looked over a year ago.
No.
Yeah, he went down quick from the time I saw him to this point.
Yeah, because even if you knew he had some, a disease, he was battling something.
Yeah.
You obviously could tell that it was in its really aggressive stages. And they were talking about they didn't know it was that bad. And I'm like,
yeah.
Okay. But I did like the part where Tasha went to the when she went to talk to Ghost and she told him, and I said, Lord have mercy, if this ain't some black stuff for you, I'm black so I can say it. Y'all, the rest of y'all can't say this. She said, Ghost, we don't own nothing. We rent this apartment. I said, wait a minute, what? Said, we don't own the building. You don't own the club. You lease the club.
Yep.
We have nothing that we can put up for collateral.
Nothing.
I said, God darn it. Where your grandma at?
Yeah, grandma got a little bit of change down the side.
Where grandma's house at? Because y'all know that a fool is good to call their grandma to put her house up for the bail. Now, grandma's house ain't worth $2 million though. And
she did the best she can for you.
Yeah. So Tasha said who that daggone necklace was for. He ain't even saying that. He said it ain't enough. So then he put the plug in and he said, get the money from Dean.
It's like,
get the money from Dean. And I said, hey,
Dean Malone, right?
Yeah, we talking about the same Dean, right? And he was like, because he didn't deliver on a job that I told him to do.
Yeah.
Get the money from Dean. And I said, am I missing something? Because ain't he did?
Yeah, I was like, what?
Ain't he did? So she left out there real confused. And of course, when she confused, who she goes to? Tell me.
And then Tommy had to put the rest of that puzzle together. They in there blazing up though.
They had that loud going.
Oh yeah. And so they put it. He was like, Dean, but Milan is dead. What?
He said. What the name is?
What the name was? Lord, I can't. Whatever his name is.
Hey, I can't think of the name. Say my name right now.
That dude. That dude can get the money. So Tommy said, I'll go get the money from that dude. So he went and talked to that dude. And the dude was like, nah, how that's gonna look, me pretty much giving money back for a service that y'all paid for, and my people are gonna be like, this ain't right. But he said, well, it really is your problem, because if ghosts get locked up, all this is coming back down on what we got going on. So it's best to put up the money and let's get ghosts out so we won't have to worry about that. He was like, he said, I get you the money.
They said, we know the goddamn cashier's check was like,
I was like, darn. I said they move faster than the bank.
Hello.
Yep, they move faster than the bank. Now, we saw a part. Y'all might have to help us with this one. This other white dude that's in prison. But he in prison for the multiple murders. And this dude named John Mark. But that's our dude from Fast and Furious.
They
popping them seeds. So, this dude got multiple murders. So this John Mark dude is trying to get him to roll over on some other murders. But who is this dude? I haven't seen this white dude.
Unless I forgot.
Yeah, unless I forgot. Unless something happened back in maybe season 1 because we just started last season doing the review. So.
But we watched it all.
But I don't remember
him.
I don't remember him.
But they trying to get him to roll over on the fact of your wife is dying
of cancer. Yeah.
So we heard treatment can be really good for this kind of cancer. And he was like, so you rather for me to be known as a snitch in these streets and my wife is gonna die anyway. He gonna turn around and say, well,
at least you make the funeral.
At least you'll make the funeral. I said, you know what?
And he walked out. Had him messed up though. He was messed up.
Really? He said, these shady sons of bitches.
Had them all messed up though. So then we see Ghost. It's time to shut down. And Charlie Murphy gave us his famous line. Night night.
Now if he had said night night sweet prince, I would have laughed.
So at this point, pretty much Ghost's soul is gone. He looking like that puss won't worth it.
It won't.
To be in this position, locked up, no money, no club,
no power.
No power. They got you. And by this time we could hear freaking Kanan was talking about that first night in prison.
That's gonna break you down.
Yeah, break you down that you haven't felt no fear like the first night in prison, which I don't know nothing about it.
You ain't trying to.
I ain't know. I thought the worst fear is when I was little and had to go outside and dump the trash.
What?
Yeah, that's a whole nother rabbit hole.
Yeah. Cause I don't even want you to explain that one. Say, what? Your biggest fear was dumping the trash?
Yeah, when I was little.
Well, all right.
Yeah, when I was little, Dad used to maybe go out there and dump the trash, and I'd be out there with scared something gonna come get me.
Something wrong with you.
Yeah.
Something wrong with you.
Yeah, so yeah.
Oh, we can't have no pauses in here. Yeah, flow.
So by this time, Ghost gets his bail hearing. And so I thought that he was going to get out because Proctor was doing a good job explaining that Ghost is a good community man. He's a successful business owner. He ain't never committed no crimes. On paper, he good.
He's a good citizen.
Yeah, he's a good citizen on paper. But here come this John Mock dude saying, Judge, we can't have this dude murdering a freaking federal agent. How that's going to look on the streets that we let him go. He's going to be a danger to society.
And a flight risk.
Because he might escape. Proctor was like, no, he not going to escape because he got a wife and kids, so he going to just drag them along. So, make a long story short, this joker convinced the judge not to let him go, and the bail hearing was denied.
What tripped me out was his bail was denied on the strength of sending a message that you can't mess with the law and get away with it.
Yeah. Which is crazy.
Y'all see how they do?
Yeah. But I thought because of the amount of money that they was gonna put up,
they was gonna take that money.
They was gonna take that money. So I'm thinking that maybe the judge might know how much money was involved.
Well, she know. She know. It's a message. It's a message.
Yeah. So
I said, oh my.
But it could have been them playing game too. Be like, you know what? If they can pull out $2 million, they probably got more than that. So we keep them locked up. We might pull a little bit more out of them later.
And they might be tracing where they pulling, where they trying to get their pull from.
Exactly.
It could be.
Oh yeah. Cause trust me, when they bust you, they gonna try to get, especially you got some money, they want to get every last dime that you got.
But we skipped all over. The best part for me was when Tasha came over. No, Keisha came over to Tasha's house.
Yeah.
To let her know, say, hey, I don't appreciate what you did over at my shop. I'm out. We good girlfriends.
Yeah.
But that was some bullshit. And then all of a sudden the elevator opened and all them feds came up and through that house.
Busting in through there, yep.
And then that daggone Angela came in there and Tasha said, I know this ain't.
Keisha said, just give me the word.
Give me the word,
Give me the word.
And I'm
gonna smack the skid out of him.
And I said, please let her give it a word. So then she comes in and talking about something. I'm sorry, Tasha, this is business. You know, I have a warrant. It is what it is. This is not personal between us, right? So she takes her into the room because she asked her, is there any weapons in the house? So Tasha walks her to where Ghost had been sleeping at. She goes in the room and looks and said, so he was sleeping in here? So the other agent that was over there was like,
he looking here.
Like, y'all got
Am I supposed to be hearing this?
So she said, yeah, I didn't want him to bring bed bugs back to my place. So I had him sleeping in here. So he was like,
what?
So then, you know, she went in there and unlocked the gun. And she said, well, you put your code in, let him secure the weapon. She said, is it loaded? She said, I don't allow loaded weapons around my children.
Yep.
Because you remember
yep.
when Tariq got a hold of her gun. The agent said, he was like, should I be documenting this? Yes, you should be documenting.
He changed something quick. He said, this is not the murder weapon. You know, it's the wrong caliber. She said, take it anyway.
She said, take it anyway. I said, you know what, I cannot with you.
I said, man.
I cannot.
So then we see Drake delivering on his promise. I don't know how much money he bought to Kanan. But he was like,
it sounded like it was off though.
Yeah, because he was like, this is the best I can do. But you need to stay away from Tariq. That's like telling Kanan, go get him.
No.
He ain't gonna listen.
That's like telling 50 Cent.
No.
Because that is his personality all over again. Yep. You tell him to go left, he gonna go right and do it in your face and grin.
Yep.
With a freaking bottle of effing vodka in his hand. And I was like, you know what? He I'm not gonna call him a B, but he be acting like a B man. And I like 50 Cent. Yeah. But he got some B. Ooh. Ooh.
So he was like, he acted like he agreed, and as soon as Drake Dinosaur left, he went and texted him. He like, keep your head up.
Can we meet?
And then Tariq hit him back and said, you know, when we gonna get together.
I said
what? And so then we see Tasha going back home. Them feds tore that apartment up.
And I was confused. I said, so she ain't been back home?
Yeah, because
she left him in her house?
I reckon she did.
Because she looked surprised that it was tore up like that.
Yeah, it was tore up. And that's what they do. When they come, they just throwing stuff everywhere. Even firefighters do that. When there's a fire, they tear your house up. We have seen that. Seen that firsthand. So then we see, back at the jail, Ghost, get ready to go to lockdown, Charlie Murphy again. God rest his soul.
Yes, Lord.
And he said, you trying to resist? He resisted.
Just pick it.
And then they took the handcuffs off him, took him down to the sunken place, and they beat him. I knew it was coming.
Because he been picking with him the whole time.
Yeah, he been picking with him, so I knew the beat down was coming.
Yeah, because when he walked in the cafeteria, threw his lunch down, told us, so we need a janitor over here.
Killer.
I said, oh hell. Here it is.
So,
but I appreciate them giving him all that airtime, and I think they did it on the strength that he's, you know, deceased now. So I appreciated that.
Yeah.
But y'all give my baby a round of applause.
Yeah, I made it through.
He did the goddamn review, y'all.
Yeah. So this was a good episode. It was a lot going on, but not a lot. Yeah. The storyline was consistent. The only part they threw us off with this other white dude. So I guess we'll figure it out.
But I want my Lobos back. Bring him back from the dead.
Because Lobos brought, you know, you got the serious side, and Lobos brought the comedy, because kind of kept it balanced. So you got the laughs, and so I don't know.
Lobo said, how did I get so lucky? He said,
ooh.
And poof, he'll be gone.
So I'm going to make some predictions. I don't think Ghost getting out of jail no time soon. They're going to hold him in there as long as they can.
And they're going to buck with Tasha.
Oh, yeah. And, of course, you know they're going to try to kill him. So, yeah. So that's it, y'all.
Straight from the VA.
The dirty, dirty South.
Two down.
Holla.